Michael Malone, coach of the Nuggets, called out his own team because they had an opportunity. The defending NBA champs had an opportunity to secure the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Didn't do it. Michael Malone not happy about it.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, really disappointing. We controlled our own destiny, and what we accomplished on Wednesday night, we just gave it right back. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's easy to get up for Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, our guys were locked in, they were focused, they were serious. And I don't think we had the same approach for tonight's game. But, you know, you had a chance to get the 1 seed, and now obviously will likely be the 3 seed.
Michael Malone said likely the 3 seed, actually 2. So the Denver Nuggets are the 2 seed. Oklahoma City, the youngest number 1 seed since the NBA has been keeping these stats, started in 1984. The youngest number 1 seed, their average age is about 24 years old. Their best player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is 25.
Yep.
And so they have the number 1 seed. They got the same record as the Nuggets, but they went on tiebreakers, and you see right 1 game behind the Minnesota Timberwolves 3 seed at 56 and 26. But before we get into the dynamics of the NBA playoffs and the play-in, what did you think about what Michael Malone said and the Nuggets kind of blowing that opportunity to control the Western Conference playoffs?
Well, I think he knew it, right? Like, I think anybody and everybody knew it. The West at the top had been very close for a long time, which is something that we haven't been able to say in a while as it relates to top placement in that conference. So I think he knew that the opportunity was squandered. It was so close. And at the end of the day, Oklahoma City had the tiebreaker. And that's kind of where we are. I don't think, however, it will matter much, considering that Denver's going to face whoever wins between the Lakers and Pelicans series. So I don't think it's going to matter much that they didn't claim the 1 seed. They are the defending champions. But I think Mike Malone did what he was needed to do, which is to rile his team up. I mean, eventually they ended up winning the final game on Sunday against Memphis. But you needed to put some fire up under your boys. You need to remind them, just because you are the defending champion, at any time, specifically given during the playoffs, you can get bust. It can happen. Stranger things have happened. So I appreciate Mike Malone doing that. I appreciate any coach, to be honest, not necessarily pointing out players specifically, but calling out a team and saying, we didn't play well. We lost an opportunity, and we are going to have to figure out how to live with what it is that the consequences of those decisions are, because we didn't play well. So I was here for it.
He's one of my favorite coaches. He really is. I mean, I love the way he understands his team. He understands the way they need to play. He understands what they need to hear. And he's been doing this. I mean, this is just who he is. He was brought up in the game. His father, Brendan Malone, is one of the great assistant coaches in NBA history. He really is. And so he's been around basketball his entire life. So I think players just understand him. He understands players, and he will back off when he needs to back off. But when he needs to jump in, he has no problem getting in there. And I think he understands too, Terrika. Look, one of the best things about being an NBA champion is that, okay, you're the defending champ. You know we can do it. If we're down 3-1, I know we can come back. If we're down 3-2, I know we can come back. We've made the plays. We've been in tough situations, and we prevailed. But that's also the weakness of being an NBA champion. You just kind of think, oh, we got it. And sometimes you're like, no, you ain't got it. You need to wake up a little bit. You need to bring a little bit more fire. Because I'm telling you, like, Gary, bring up those standings again in the Western Conference. My goodness. Okay, if you look at the Western Conference, I'm just getting tired. I'm not even at 6 yet. Look at those teams. Okay, but you don't have a 60-win team. You probably can't have a 60-win team out there.
I like this. Though. I like the way that this has ended up lining up, because for one, and I know we'll probably get into this momentarily, but for one, the first thing my eyes immediately go to the play-in, and it immediately goes to the Lakers. And it immediately goes there because a week ago we were like, bro, these dudes, they not even they're not even going to be in the conversation. And somehow they managed to get the 8th seed to still be a part of this conversation. So that's number one. But the other thing that I noticed is that Oklahoma City has managed to do what they needed to do, which is not only claim the number 1 seed, but they have managed to avoid needing to play Denver for at least the first 2 rounds. And then if they do end up having to play Denver, at least they know that the home court advantage is going to be on their side. So this young team that has no playoff experience, that will be facing potentially against the defending champions with all the playoffs experience, has everything in their favor, and I love that. And when you add to the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic are the 2 that are leading for the MVP conversation, I feel like that adds an additional set of an umph in a playoff series that I just know we're going to want to see. I am rooting for OKC to continue to make it to the Western Conference Finals because I want to see this team be successful. I want to see Chet Holmgren say, y'all been talking about Wemby all season. Like, I'm not a serious Rookie of the Year contender out here. I want to see it. I'm rooting for OKC.
Yeah, and it's a good, for another day, it's a good team building conversation too, because when Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers and brought along Paul George and, the throw-in, I don't want to say it was a throw-in. I mean, OKC knew that it was getting a really, really good prospect in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Good prospect. Nobody knew he was an MVP at that time, but, a lot of respect for him. They get a good prospect. They get a ton of draft picks. And so it was really this conversation of, do you go with winning right now with Kawhi and Paul George, or do you go with the long haul, which is what Sam Presti and OKC did? And right now, the long haul is the number 1 seed. Win right now is the number 4 seed. And they both have an equal number of championships, 0. Okay, so
here's the thing.
Who's going to win that championship first?
Well, let me ask you this. Do we even consider it a long haul? Because that was just 2 years ago.
It was quick. It was a quick turnaround.
That's not even a long haul for me. Like, that is the prime example of what it means to be patient and to build and trust your young guys. Because 2 years to be the number 1 seed, many people ain't able.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.